I would like to first off apologise for a picture of me on the screen earlier, of me in the springtime of my youth, and quite drunk in university, and so I apologise for that. I'm terribly sorry. But please, head if you please take it away. I'm going to introduce you to the world of table tennis, or whiff-waff, as Boris Johnson would like to call it. It's one of the most played sports in the world, with over 300 million people playing in China casually. So how did it all start? It started in the 1800s when stuffy Victorian people would decide to play after dinner. They would use books as a net, cigar boxes as a bat, and then end up using a champagne cork as a ball. That's Fred Perry, one of the only people to win a major title in tennis and also become a world champion in table tennis. Table tennis bat comes as a wooden blade. They all have different varieties, and the rubbers, which are glued on both sides with PVA, also have different varieties. I've got two examples on the next slide of the costs of what a table tennis bat can be. I know that's a bit of a shock, but they don't all cost £410. Trust me now, they're just a lot cheaper than that. That's the Janjika ZLC blade, is the arsehole blade. If you have that blade, you're an arsehole. Table tennis also prevented World War III in a thing that was called ping-pong diplomacy. USA sent a team to China. After 22 years of silence, it eased the tensions between the two countries, since America was terrified of communism at the time. USA got slaughtered, absolutely slaughtered. But at least it stopped us from, being all dead. So, there's that. So we can take that away from it. So thank you, USA, for taking that sacrifice in that essence there. And also it paved the way for table tennis to be an Olympic sport, which was introduced in Seoul in 1988. This is Zhang Zhika after winning the Liber World Cup. He had just won, so he kicked the barrier because he was that excited. He got fined £35,500. That was the prize money. You don't get paid to lose in table tennis, like in tennis, football, golf. I'm not saying anything about England, whatever. Most table tennis players end up becoming a coach in the future, maybe helping the national team, or will go on to, say, the Bundesliga or the Super League in China. Table tennis has spawned a few documentaries and films. This is my favourite documentary. It's called Ping Pong. It follows veterans and people who play over 100 years old entering the World Veteran Championships of table tennis. It's insane stuff that these people are still playing at that age. I put Forrest Gump up there, mainly because when I played table tennis when I was younger, the amount of people would say, "Oh, can you play like Forrest Gump?" And if I could, I don't think I'd be stood here right now. It's a bit of a stupid question. I also went out to Germany to film my own documentary as well when I was in university, called Eat, Train, Sleep, where I followed young athletes and what drives them to play table tennis, a sport that has virtually no money in it and no chance of ever doing it full time. And it was extremely eye-opening. Table tennis also has a lot of its own unique sort of shots. For example, you can have the ball go under the table, around the net, much like the tennis shot, the hot dog shot, which goes behind the legs. There's also the round the back, which is a bit of a more difficult shot to pull off. It's mainly a shot where you pull off because you've been outplayed, and it means you were flat-footed. But if you pull it off, it's an incredible shot. It can't do it justice, obviously, with the stills, but if I could show, I certainly would. I've actually never done any of these shots, so just don't take my word for it. Table tennis is also now being used as a drug-free treatment as well for Alzheimer's. It's proved to be very effective in strengthening parts of the brain which Alzheimer's is deteriorating. It's being researched in Great Britain and Germany right now, and I wish I could talk more about it, but I'm not a doctor. So. This is He Jiwen of Spain. He will be playing in the Rio Olympics. He's 54 years old, and the Spanish team have such struggle with pronouncing his name that they call him Juanito. So let's give him a watch. This is our Paralympian Welsh athletes in the table tennis team. This is from left to right, Sarheed, Paul Davis, Paul Karabadak, and this is Phil Davis. These are Welsh athletes. Great Britain has a very, very strong disability team. They have not been covered all that great with the build-up to Rio. These are the athletes, Will Bailey, Kim Dable, and David Wetherill. Please give them the watch during the Olympics and give them your support, even just tweet out to them, because table tennis needs that bit more appreciation, especially with people who are with the disabled. This is the legendary Ibrahim Yamamoto from Egypt. He was involved in a train accident when he was a boy, lost both his arms. So he decided to play table tennis with a bat in his mouth, and he now throws the ball with his foot. I still don't know, I don't think I could ever do that at all. This is the Cardiff City Table Tennis Club. This is who I train with, and this is who I play for. These guys have reignited my passion for table tennis. They are the only full-time table tennis club in Wales. They will cater for all ages and abilities. So if you want to come down with work friends and play, they're more than happy to have you there. That's their Twitter. Please give them a follow. They're in the process of getting new facilities with 16 tables in there, and you can even maybe have a beer as well while you play, and that could be just fantastic. Thank you very much for listening to me.